You are now watching the Amazin Mets Pregame Show with your hosts, Rob and CP.
Let's go Mets! Let's go Mets! Let's go Mets! Let's go Mets!
What's up, Mets fans? Welcome back to the Amazin Mets Pregame Show with myself and CP. We are business as usual with the glasses on just to make sure we keep those good vibes going. We thought it'd be a good thing to keep that vibe going because the Mets are holding it down on the West Coast, winning yesterday 9-4 in, I could say, dramatic fashion, to be honest. The least expected or the unexpected hero of the night, Francisco Lindor, broke the tiebreaker into 7 with a 2-run bomb to right center. That was what Francisco Lindor needed. You just saw all the weight off his shoulders running the bases, and that's exactly what we wanted to see from him. If he can get hot with this team being hot right now, there's a lot of good things to come with this team. What's up, Chris? How you doing?
I'm doing well, Rob. Everyone in the chat, Rob has joined me in the sunglasses, strictly business. You know the saying, especially when the Mets are out west, strictly business. The Mets are out there on a business trip. Honestly, that game was electric. They did exactly what the Mets, right, what we've been preaching. Get out ahead, hit Yoshinobu Yamamoto, and make him work out there. And they got off to the 4-0 lead. Obviously, thanks to some unfortunate things happening in the field to Joey Wendell, right? Not all of his fault, but definitely contributed to a couple of runs there. Nonetheless, Francisco Lindor, I believe in that at bat. So impressive, going down 0-2, working the count back to 3-2, and sending an off-speed pitch out of the ballpark. Much needed from the left side. I believe he also notched a couple hits yesterday. One more hit in addition to that home run from the left side. So, like I said, and like we said earlier before in the pregame yesterday, Francisco Lindor was going to need to help out this lineup, right, in a big way. And also, Mr. Jeff McNeil notching a couple hits as well. It's always huge. And how about Mr. Harrison Bader? Oh, it was electric. I believe the Mets combined for 14 hits. That's exactly what the Mets needed, guys. I hope in the chat, I didn't get a chance to stream this to my YouTube, so hopefully everyone's coming on over. Hit that like button first and foremost, as always. And like I said, I hope everyone's hyped because this team is playing phenomenal baseball through and through. And guess what? The Mets didn't even need to use Edwin Diaz yesterday. You know what I say about today? Let's take the series today, and let's not wait until the rubber match. Let's go.
Yeah, absolutely. And listen, it was in a performance that we wanted to see on the West Coast. You know, yes, it was nice beating the Braves in Atlanta. Yes, it was sweeping the Pirates. The good vibes are really going. But like you said, Chris, this is the test, right? No matter if the Dodgers have the injuries with the pitching or as it looked yesterday, what was the problem with the Dodgers? You keep them in the ballpark, they don't score a lot of runs. 4 runs is nothing. Like the Mets scored 4 runs rather quickly. They did come back, but you saw what happened. They don't manufacture runs. They don't get enough people on base. And again, they rely on the 2-3 run home run to either get back in ball games or increase their lead. That's how they win ball games. And I said it, the close ball games, the Dodgers do not win. Guess what? Going into the 7th inning, it was a tie ball game. And who prevailed? The New York Mets, who have been one of the best teams in baseball in close games. And I think it's tie games to 1-run deficits. I'm sorry, 1 run either way, winning or in a deficit. They're right in the top of the league of winning those games. So that's the most important thing right now is that we're playing a team game, right? We're not relying, like everybody did everything yesterday. You said 14 hits. It was DJ Stewart. It was Starlin Marte, Lindor, McNeil. Like it was just all over the place. And that is exactly what I wanted to see from this team. And you know what? Go out today. You got Jose Butto. You know he's going to go 6 innings. You just hope it's very quality 6 innings, and we'll be ready to go and take the series. And then, listen, we're playing with house money tomorrow on Sunday, and we can go into a sweep. I mean, imagine if we can go into a sweep tomorrow, how this fan base is going to react. It's going to be insane. Like, I don't know how many Met fans stood up last night. I mean, it was a Friday night? Yeah, me too. I was up there. I think my cat ran out of the room when Lindor hit that home run, and I was going to tweet something, but I held back because I know Hector would. And that's why I just held back, and I'm like, you know what? He shut up all the haters for at least one day because that was a huge home run. That was the first moment of Lindor's season right there. That's what the Met fans were waiting for. And you know what? He even said it. The ovations really meant something to him, and he wanted to do this for the fans. Like, make no mistake about it. His defense doesn't wander. He still made good plays on the field. He's still one of the best defensive shortstops in baseball, if not the best. Yet it doesn't affect him on the field when he's not performing with the bat. And now I just feel like he just needed that one moment this season to get him going. And guess what? It's nearing the end of April where he starts to heat up.
Yep.
And that's what Lindor does. And I know it was mostly terrible and more terrible than usual, but he's a slow starter. And unfortunately, on the left side, he is. If you look at his numbers throughout his career, he starts slow on the left side. Usually he starts slow on both sides, but the left side still takes a little bit longer to go. But I love what I see from this team, and I'm so happy it was Francisco Lindor breaking the tie in the 7th inning, because you saw that dugout, how much crazy. You saw Marte pick him up and hug him like they were best friends forever. This team, this chemistry with this team is obvious, and it's spilling onto the field now, and I love it, Chris.
The vibes are immaculate. I mean, especially not only for that home run, right? Also, he slid in safe when the infield was playing in, like they were trying to overrule the call. The Dodgers are challenging, and when they got the confirmation that he was safe, everybody, like, he was jumping up and down that dugout. Jeremy Barnes gave him a little dap. Like, everybody in that dugout's tight, and just to see those sort of reactions when this team is playing well, you know that they wanted to prove everyone wrong after the 0-5 start. A lot of people came out the woodworks, and guess what? A lot of those people on Twitter, on social media, have gone silent, and they really haven't said anything. And honestly, it's one thing about talking about this team in an objective manner, right? You got to check them when they're not playing well, and you got to point out obviously the obvious errors that they're committing out there. But listen, you can't be a one-sided type of fan, and I hate to like fan police people. I'm never gonna do that, but it's just like I pay attention to people who always give out the slander but never give out the credit when credit is due. And I really hope that and just start giving that credit where credit's due. It's okay to admit this team is playing good baseball. But before we get into the obvious, we do need to sort of dampen the mood a little bit with the Alvarez, sort of situation. But just before we get into that, two things. Love the way Sean Manaea was pitching yesterday. I talked about competitive pitches, and we talked about the game plan and the attack on Freddie Freeman specifically. And he struck Freddie Freeman out twice, which amazed me, because yesterday I said Freddie Freeman is a hard dude to strike out, and Sean Manaea did it twice. One was with a nice sweeper down and away, and the second one was that high fastball. He elevated it at the letters of Freddie Freeman. It was just at the top of the strike zone, and it was a competitive pitch, and Freddie Freeman whiffed on it. So I wanted to talk about that, because I think that Sean Manaea had an overall, and that was a talking emphasis point for me yesterday on the pregame. He definitely was producing a lot more competitive pitches. And I guess the second thing is Mr. Mookie Betts at shortstop. They need to find a real shortstop, because he's not that. So I just wanted to call that out. It's obvious. And there's no way that he's a top 5 shortstop in the league with that type of defense. So those rankings can miss me with that. But anyways, that's besides the point. We're here to talk about, obviously, what we got in front of us today, and I hope Jose Butto can carry the line. Like I said, a real test for him as well. When you look at this pitching matchup, obviously they're throwing, I don't even know who they're, I honestly haven't, it was a Gavin Stone. Okay. I don't really know. I'm not really familiar with his game, to be honest with you, but Jose Butto is going to have a really challenging time out there, especially with that lineup. So I know he has that dog in him. He has that sort of, I guess, competitiveness to him, the resiliency, especially in adversity. And I'm confident Jose Butto. Hopefully he can carry the line today. So, but we do have to talk about Francisco Alvarez and the unfortunate thing. Obviously, I don't know if there's any sort of official diagnosis. Was probably going to go in for an MRI. Last time I heard from Carlos Mendoza in the post game yesterday. Do we have any updates on him? I know he's not in the lineup, obviously, but
yeah, it was reported that I don't know what grade sprain, but it's a sprain. Nothing's broken or ligament damage. It's just a sprain. They just put him on the IL because, again, you can't get that sprain better if you're going to continue to catch 100 miles an hour fastballs. So he's going to be out 10 days. It's prorated. It's prorated until yesterday. So
it's not 3 strain, then we're good. If it's a grade 1 or grade 2, that's a lot better than a grade 3 because obviously I'm no doctor, but if I understand correctly, grade 3 is basically means a torn ligament. So
Correct.
as long as it's torn.
Yeah, so they didn't really make it specific unless I missed it. I saw it about an hour ago while I was driving when the update popped up on my phone. Yeah, hopefully it's only a grade 1, grade 2 sprain, and it's some that rest and a little bit of ice and a little bit of physical therapy just to to rest that muscle, rest the thumb and all that fun stuff. Because look, if that doesn't fully heal, it's going to bother him the entire season. It's just I think if you play baseball before, you had sprains, legs, knees, thumbs, fingers, arms, hands, and wrist, all that crap. So, unfortunately, the baby Mets are by the wayside right now with Beatty and Alvarez. Beatty is not on the IL, so we do lose a roster spot, which I never liked, honestly. Like, I know Beatty might come back in a day or two, or maybe 3 days, but I would just put him on the IL so you have an extra man, even if it is an extra pitcher or just another position player. I mean, you could have brought Vientos up, like you could have, right? It wouldn't have been a bad idea. He's raking in the minors right now.
Or Jose Iglesias. I mean, honestly, he's a better option than Joey Wendell out there. I mean, seriously, I don't this lefty-righty matchup. Lefty, Joey Wendell being a lefty doesn't provide us any sort of advantage. So there's no reason why he should be out there again. I'd rather see Zach Short, even if Stone's a right.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, there's something going on with what the hell's his name? Jesus, I already forgot. Vientos, sorry. There's something going on with the front office and Vientos. Something's not mixing here because it seems like Vientos is never getting an opportunity again. And that's okay with me because we're playing well, but it's, the best player in the minors right now, position player wise, is Mark Vientos. But we know we can hit AAA pitching, but he deserves to be up right now. Beatty's not playing right now. If Beatty was playing, I wouldn't have no gripe about it. Tomas Nido is the backup right now for Omar Alvarez for the next, hopefully only 10 days when Alvarez is on the shelf. But yeah, I'm okay. Look, I'm not going to go crazy. Like I says, the Mets have been pushing the right buttons and it's been working. So I'd rather Zach Short, but they're going to go with the lefty against a righty. So that's just how it's going to go. That's just the analytics that they use, unfortunately.
We got to root for the bounce back with Wendell today, right? You made 2 mistakes yesterday. How do you bounce back today? Honestly, if you're a ball player, right? I mean, us fans can sit here and dwell on it, but Joey Wendell's got a game to play today, right? It's a short turnaround. It's a game of 162. It's a season of 162. I know us fans are really annoyed at him, right? Because he could have definitely cost the Mets in a big way, and he did. Beyond just a tie ball game yesterday. But honestly, if I'm Joey Wendell, you got to move past and you can't dwell on it. You have an opportunity to go out there and do it again today, and you can't afford to make those same errors and have it keep on piling on top of each other. Is Tomas Nido official with the team in LA? I didn't see that.
Yep, that's what it said. That's cool. What they said. Yeah. So again, Tomas Nido, I think we're paying him like $2 million to be in the minors. So you might as well get his ass up here and get him some work in the majors right now as a backup. He'll probably play tomorrow, to be honest with you. Just the way Mendoza's been doing it, it seems like the main guy is going to be not catching on Sundays. But we'll see how that goes. But again, Nido's going to get a couple of starts here. I know Met fans aren't going to, jump over for joy that Nido's going to be a part of this team. But it is what it is. But right now, the good vibes are here. Met fans are excited. X was going crazy last night. It was just, I think everybody and their mother retweeted the Lindor home run on X. And, I even clipped it as a YouTube short. It was crazy. Just the amount of enthusiasm from Met fans when, just think of it, guys. We've only lost 3 games since the 0-5 start. 3 games. And we're going on game 20 today. I know that's not a big sample size, but you want to see once it gets past 7, 8, 9 games, it's kind of a trend now, right? Are they going to go through losing streaks? Well, they already went through a losing streak the beginning of the year. So they're playing well right now. And in all honesty, though, I think we're one of the top 5 teams in the NL. The way we're playing right now, things can change, but you got to give credit where credit's due. And finally, now, for some reason, SNY was not working for me when I was trying to stream it. Thanks for not being in New York, but it is what it is. But I was listening to the Dodger broadcast, and the amount of respect and gratitude that the Mets are finally getting is amazing because there was not a bad word said from the Dodgers announcers yesterday. It was all good. The vibe they said about the vibes. That's where I got that word from. I didn't like make it up or anything like that. They said that. They were also saying the chemistry that they don't see in the Dodgers dugout over the last week. And they talked about the Mets dugout and how they're at the top step. They're clapping for each other. They're cheering for each other. And it's just a good chemistry, good vibe type of team right now. And when you're starting to hear from other broadcasts, from other teams, that's how you know the Mets are making the rest of the country and they're getting put on notice because now they're getting noticed. Now, hopefully the Mets don't get a big head, Chris.
Yeah.
And, get too confident and then walk in and then somebody's going to throw that uppercut and get knock you on your ass and bring it back to reality. You know what I'm saying?
I think you just got to, like, Rob, it all comes back to playing your game, right? You're a hot team right now. Winners of 11 of the last 14, 5-game win streak. You just got to play your game. You can't get a big head, like you said. And it does seem like the Dodgers are just a bunch of individual players out there. They're not really gelling as a team. Now, I don't want to speak for them. Obviously, we're here covering the Mets. But if the announcers actually did say that, then they'd be spot on, right? You don't see that type of energy. At least I didn't from the Dodger dugout or even on the field yesterday for the Dodgers. So, yeah, man, it's something where, like I said, we're not here to analyze what the Dodgers are doing. We're here to analyze what the Mets are doing, and everything the Mets are doing right now is fantastic, right? Again, like situational hitting, right? There's a couple of missed opportunities yesterday. Lindor was one of them. Nimmo was one of them with the strikeouts and with runners in scoring position. Nimmo's definitely got to cut back on the Ks. His at-bats have been a little wonky here recently, but nonetheless, I like overall what I'm seeing from this team. We're not here to be Debbie Downers, but even head, even keel, play with a passion, and don't just sort of, I guess, play to what the Dodgers want you to play, right? Like, you got to keep putting balls in play, make their defense do the work. And I just love the swings that the Mets were taking yesterday. I mean, Starling Marte had absolute, like, rockets hit off of Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Like, he was seeing the ball very well out of Yamamoto's hand. DJ Stewart, same thing. I mean, he almost put a second home run out there in left center field, and it just, the guy just caught it in center field at the warning track. So I love the swings that this team is taking. It's quality swings. And like I said, I think that this team is finally being a little bit more aggressive. Now, I'm not saying swing on the first pitch and pop out like, people have done in the past here, especially in this season. Like, that's not what I'm saying. But selective aggression is definitely something that I look for with the Mets hitting, right? Selective aggression from the plate standpoint with the hitters and also the efficiency with the pitchers. Like, I said it yesterday before Manaea started. I'm going to say it again today. When you're ahead of the count, these hitters, like for the Dodgers, especially 5, they're disciplined, right? Like, Freddie Freeman's not going to chase pitches generally. Even Ohtani's got a good eye. And by the way, Brooks Raley made Ohtani look like a fool there. That was a terrific pitch on 3-2, I believe, to strike out Ohtani. Just got him uneven at box and sort of swinging out of his shoes. But yeah, like I said, just be competitive on pitches. Even if you throw it out of the zone and try to get him to bite, make it competitive so that they actually have to, I guess, think about swinging there and then just make themselves stop, and good results will come. So I like the overall niche processes that are happening right now, and I hope everyone's watching that, right? I hope they're not just watching like the end result, because obviously that's what we're here to sort of cheer on. Someone gets a base hit, etc. But you can have great at-bats and you can contribute to the team with great at-bats while even making outs, especially as a hitter, right? You can ground out to the right side of the field with the runner on second base less than 2 outs and move a runner over. Like, that is okay. So that's my whole point. Just keep playing your game and keep playing that small ball, and eventually the big bops will come, right? Like, the home runs will come. DJ Stewart will take one out of the ballpark, because this team has the capability of hitting home runs, right, with the rest of them. Now, they're not going to be and keep pace with the team like the Braves, the Dodgers in the home run category, but there's some sneaky pop at points in this lineup. So I like it. Just keep playing this game and keep playing that sort of, I guess, New York Mets brand of baseball that now we're starting to really see take shape.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? It's great to see that everybody's kind of joining the fun here on this roster, because listen, everybody had their one guy that they were saying, oh my God, Bader's terrible. oh my God, Jeff McNeil is not the same player he was. DJ Stewart, why is he on his team? Why ain't Vientos here? Lindor, why do we pay him $340 million? Like, that was the conversation. And yet, slowly but surely, everybody is coming along and starting to just enjoying this team. Like, there's not bad things talked about from Met fans anymore. Right now, we're a community that is excited right now. We're playing very well. We have one of the best records over the last 14 games in baseball, and we're playing just as good. And you're right. I don't know if you saw that graphic yesterday, the Mets over the last before the game yesterday, were scoring 6.5 runs per game over the last 13 games. That's the way you win right now, especially with the way the pitch is going. You score 6.5 runs per game for a month, 2 months, if that's even possible, you're going to win a lot of those games. Because even if your pitching is not great and they give up 3 or 4 runs, guess what? You're probably scoring 5 or 6 with that average per game. You're going to win those ball games, regardless of if your pitching's really good or mediocre at best. And mediocre, I think we can all agree, is around 3 to 5 runs, right? That's like mediocre pitching. 3 runs, I guess, is kind of good. But 4 to 5 runs, you have 6.5 runs per game. You're going to win those games. And I'm not saying they're going to be a 6.5 run per game team. I mean, they might be. You never know. They have all aspects. They got a little bit they got that power up at the top. They got that sneaky power in the middle, right? With DJ Stewart, even Bader showing signs of driving a ball as well. So, I just enjoy this team right now. And you know what? I think they're going into today's game with Jose Butto, the way he's been pitching, and knowing that you're probably going to get length from him. I think they're running in with a ton of confidence right now. And you know what? I can't wait for the top of the first in about 9 minutes. I can't wait for the top of the first because I think we're going to score runs in the first inning, buddy.
Just step on their throats, man. Just step on their throats. Yeah. Nothing more, nothing less. Strictly business, step on their throats. And I know it's a little bit harsh, but listen, I don't like that team out in LA. Neither do you. Step on their throats and get this win. That's it.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? Step on their throats, take their money, take their wallet, take their belt, take their shoes, take everything, right? They spent all that money. They already were granted the World Series appearance, according to almost everybody. Yankees, Dodgers, once again, for the 4th straight year, and it probably won't happen. I guarantee you that. And I guarantee you both of them won't make that as well, just to piss off Yankee fans a little bit and obviously the Dodger fans. But few minutes left, Chris. Just say your final thoughts and what do you think is going to go down? Who do you think is going to be the X factor of this game today?
Listen, my final thoughts are, like I said, win the ball game. Jose Butto is going to go out there and be a bulldog, right? Just give him some breathing room, right? It's all about breathing room. Mania looked a lot more comfortable out there once there was some breathing room. And you know what? Gary Cohen, I love you, man. I love the broadcast. You got to stop being a jinx. I swear,
Yes.
Reverse jinx Lindor, which is where I was like, okay, cool. Thanks, Gary. But as soon as he was talking about James Outman, especially against Adam Ottavino, he almost sent one into orbit, right? The SNY camera fooled me on that shot. I thought home run easy. Gary Cohen's got to chill on calling out Chris Taylor for his last 0 for 30 or whatever he was. Chill, Gary. It's okay. You can talk about it after the at-bat, and you can add stats up after the at-bat once the result is in, but let's not be a jinx. No, but in all seriousness, I'm pumped for today. I like the matinee game. This is a great chance to sort of build on what you've been building on. You're riding high right now, right? This is a team that's riding high. But you can't ride too high. You got to be even keeled and play good baseball. So, like I said, we're winning ball games with DJ Stewart in the 5 spot right now. Something that if you asked me in the beginning of the season, 2024, right before the season started, I'd been like, no, I'm not going to take that. I'm not going to allow that because that is just simply unacceptable to have DJ Stewart as your 5-hole hitter. But everybody's stepping up, and that's a credit to everybody, right? Up and down. Even Alonso yesterday had a great at-bat with runners in scoring position. Believe Freddie Freeman at first base was playing up. Pete Alonso was strong enough to just poke a ball right by him, right? Opposite side of the field, got an RBI out of it. Everybody's contributing, and I like to see the processes happening with this team. So, like I said, those are my final thoughts, and don't let up. Don't let up. And you have to play a complete ball game against the Dodgers, right? You almost saw one inning it did get the Dodgers back in the ball game. You got to play complete, clean ball game. Omar Narvaez, I believe, even had a catcher's interference called on him. I believe the Mets had 3 errors yesterday. That's not going to work too often against the Dodgers. So would like to see a little bit more cleaner defense, right? Not only with the catcher's interference, which seems to be happening a lot more frequently, but also the third base, right? Zach Short, way earlier in the season, he cleaned up his defense. So we'd like to see Joey Wendell play a little bit of a cleaner game here today. So we'll see what happens. I'd like to see the offensive production. That is something that excites me because, like you said, if you're scoring six and a half runs over the last 14, you said, I don't know exactly what you said, that's going to win you games more often than not. And I like to see the offensive production continue to happen. Give your pitching breathing room. And when that bullpen comes in, I have a lot of confidence in them. I think that Jake Diekman did a really good job yesterday. And I liked what Adam Ottavino did as well. So like I said, and also Reed Garrett, a couple strikeouts, obviously didn't have his best stuff. But I think obviously things would have went a little bit different, a lot different if it wasn't for those 2 errors. So I'm going to give Reed Garrett the pass there, even though he didn't look like he had his best stuff. But nonetheless, like I said, I'm excited for today, and I'm sure we'll come on here tomorrow and discuss the results. But we'll all be on X cheering on this team and giving our thoughts on it. So let's have a Saturday, everyone.
Absolutely. So the 11-8 Mets looking to take another series in a row. And they got 2 chances to do it. And let's do it today. So we're playing with house money tomorrow. Jose Buto on the mound against Gavin Stone. You got Navarez catching because Alvarez on the DL. You got Wendell at third base because of Beatty. But you got your normal 1 through 7 that you've been seeing on a regular basis. So let's get a W. Let's take another series. Let's beat these damn Dodgers. And let's talk Mets baseball tomorrow, winning game 2 of this series, taking a series, and then talking about a sweep, just like we did with the Pirates at home, but now on the road on the West Coast. So, Chris, with that said, let's go Mets. We'll see you next time. Go Knicks, go Rangers, and have a good day, guys. Let's go Mets.
Go Mets and Knicks. Let's go, guys.